League of Extraordinary Frontmen, a podcast where 4 lead vocalists from 4 different Connecticut metal bands try to cram their egos into one room to talk about comic books, Star Wars, sci-fi, and anything else that comes up.
I'm waiting to be impressed.
So grab your underoos, strap in, and set your phasers to stun, because it's time for the League of Extraordinary Frontmen on the Metal Syndicate Podcast Network.
Welcome to League of Extraordinary Frontmen. This is episode 68. 4 guys with extensive knowledge of comic books and toys, just trying to get to 69. This podcast was recorded on Sunday, March 19th, 2017. We are your hosts.
Agrippa from Agrippa 93.
Scotty, a.k.a. Rick Sugar from Crossing Rubicon. I'm Kevin. And I think Scott is really cool. Kevin James Freer from
KJFreer.com.
KJFreer.com.
AJ Pelletier from Amplified Video Productions.
And Jeannie from Crossing Rubicon and Agrippa 93.
We're missing 2 other people tonight, too.
Yeah.
Michelle and Lady J are both not here.
It's a small crowd tonight, but we'll get through this. We do have a guest, supposedly, allegedly, showing
Our guest host this week is Ryan Bair.
somewhere
Hi, guys.
out in the vast space is Ryan Bair. We're expecting him any minute now, so we'll just go on with the show. And we usually go right into guest host interrogation at this point, but obviously we can't do that. When he gets here, we will do that. I think he's already been through that, but I don't think he's been through the lightning round.
No, he has not.
We have our host question, possibly, if we can come up with one by the time we go to record it. Odd Comics, Nerd News, Know Who News. Do we have new toys?
Yes.
New toys, Show and Tell, and Shameless Plugs. Fuck it. Let's go right to Odd Comic.
It's so hard to read.
I know. I'm going to set the scene for everybody, seeing that Kevin's not here. This looks like... Ooh. Alright, they're at some kind of dinosaur park. You want to say...
It looks like Bruce Wayne and
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Bruce Wayne and Robin.
Bruce Wayne and Dick, yeah.
There are 3 other characters. Some guy with a hat and glasses. A blonde woman wearing a red dress of some sort. A little kid with blonde hair. And that's about it. They're leaning on a fence, and there's a bunch of dinosaurs on the other side of the fence.
Can I be Bruce?
You may be Bruce. Who wants to be Robin?
I'll be Robin.
Okay. Scotty, you want to be the bratty little kid?
I can't read this. Okay.
Do you need your reading glasses?
Yeah. I'll be the bratty little kid.
Okay. Not a far stretch. You're on. Bratty little kid?
Ooh, isn't this exciting?
Not as exciting as last night, and Bruce.
You can say that again, Dick.
Dick.
So, yeah.
SMH.
Batman Robin. Gay?
It leans toward it. Clearly. All right, you guys want to take a break and think of some kind of host question?
Sure.
We probably should have prepared this better.
We're too busy watching Transformers trailers.
Right.
It's way fewer people.
Yeah, we got some absentees tonight. Well, better than amputees.
We're losing people faster than enemy remains.
Well, we're going to change gears a little bit. Yes, we are recording, Scotty.
You are recording.
Right now we are.
Oh, good.
Ryan Bair has just arrived, and we're actually going to put you through the rapid-fire lightning round.
Oh,
I don't think you've gone through yet.
I answered some questions, I think.
Yeah, but I answered some questions last time.
There's more questions now.
Yeah.
I have zero preparation.
This is the extended director's cut.
In wrestling, I am not breaking kayfabe. I have no idea what is happening.
All right.
Good.
All right, rapid fire lightning round. You have 30 seconds to answer these questions. Are
Not
you
really,
ready?
but
No.
just
So let's go.
What's nerdier, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek is way nerdier. If geekier is what speaks to the passion and obsession of fans.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, please.
Well
not on the
punctuated.
floor.
Actually, you're good.
Awesome. It just sounded really bad at first. I was like, oh,
There's
God.
either a beer can opening or a hit from the bong.
By the way, we've already
You at
passed.
home can figure that out.
We've already passed the 30-second mark.
Rapid fire!
All right. Light side or dark side?
Light side.
Picard or Kirk?
He said with regret.
I would take
Oh, it's so hard. I mean, the question.
No, it's not.
It is, though. Picard. Better actor. Better actor.
True. Better captain, too.
Yes.
No, he was
Yeah,
not.
He's a better captain.
He just adopted.
Kirk was like, oh, I'm getting my dick wet.
a dog.
I got alien pussy. Good for me.
Captain Picard was a by the books, well, for the most part, captain. He was a better captain.
Yeah,
Did he bang
followed
any
the
aliens?
rules.
Did he bang any aliens?
In the stage.
No.
He didn't bang any aliens, so he's a better captain.
How does that make him a better captain? Makes it really? All right. Here's the deal. If it wasn't for Kirk being as cavalier as he was during his era of captain, there might not have been a Starfleet by the time we got to Picard. He needed to be that way. He was the guy that set the stage.
It doesn't make him a better captain.
No one has gone before. People have been there. Picard is just kind of following everybody else's footsteps. I love Picard. Don't get me wrong. We'll draw the line here.
Listen to the question. Who was
Have
a
you guys
better
seen
captain?
the meme, though, where Riker is, like, jumping over the seats every time he sits down? Every time he sits down. It's really funny.
Oh, the best meme ever. It had Patrick Stewart looking awesome. It had William Shatner looking like modern day William Shatner, and it had the captain of the starship Voyager. What was her name?
Oh.
Janeway.
And all three of them like in a recent thing at like a Trekkie convention.
Yeah.
And Connor or Shatner and Janeway looking like a little bit overweight, and it says, "Wow, apparently out of all three of these enterprises, only one of them had a gym."
This is the longest tangent that we've had in the lightning round.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Just gonna say the same thing. We're way past the 30-second mark.
Go ahead.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the only DC guy here.
G.I. Joe or Mask?
G.I. Joe.
He-Man or the Thundercats?
He-Man.
Voltron or the Power Rangers?
Voltron.
Yes.
But like 1,000, like the strongest of those answers. Sorry.
Voltron would kick the Power Rangers' copyright infringing ass.
Aliens or Predator?
Oh, crap. Predator for Arnold.
Chopper, come on.
Jesse Ventura, too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
ain't got
true.
time to bleed.
R.I.P. Bull Pullman, whatever, but...
I ain't got time to bleed. Terminator or RoboCop?
Pullman sucked in that movie.
Terminator... the first RoboCop and every other Terminator.
Okay. Batmobile, 1966 or Kit?
Old one. Batmobile, yeah.
Mighty Mouse or Danger Mouse?
Oh, crap. Danger Mouse.
Holy crap, stop texting me.
Hi. Hi.
What
Hi.
you doing?
I'm causing diversions because it's too fast.
It's just like, what are you wearing and when are you coming over?
No,
Shit!
no,
Read the wrong
it's,
thing.
it's nothing related to that. It's what's going on.
Where do I want what, AJ? Where do I want what?
Hi.
Alright, where was I? Oh, we did Mighty Mouse, right? Okay.
Well, we
Conan
did
the-
Danger Mouse, actually.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's the question. Conan the Barbarian or Conan O'Brien?
Oh, shit. Does that one stop people?
No, usually people answer right away.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm torn on that one, too.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It sounds easy in the beginning, but it's
I know
really
who would
hard.
win a fight, but I'll take Conan O'Brien for levity's sake.
Yes. 2D or 3D animation?
2.
Betty Rubble or Bugs Bunny in a dress?
Both. Let's go.
That's a fair answer.
Is that we're related?
You don't know. Don't know unless you try, right?
Simpsons, South Park, or Family Guy?
Shit. I mean, that's loaded. I would go...
So are we.
If I gotta shut my brain off, Family Guy. If I'm just like gonna sit there and have it on
Shut my
TV,
brain off.
because I don't want, I don't like watch a lot of
Oh,
things
yeah.
intently on television. So that would, I guess.
I hear you.
That's been Bob's Burgers for me lately.
Yeah.
It's like, I want something cartoony. Yay.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin. Are they gay?
Not both of them.
Okay, what's your theory on that?
I just think Robin is a victim of circumstance, and Bruce
pleaser.
makes a lot of money.
Yeah,
So
he's a pleaser.
Mac or PC?
High flyer.
Mac, I guess I have an iPhone.
That's the correct answer.
Physical or digital? Comics, music, porn, etc.
If there's a physical porn, let's talk about that, I guess. But oh, you mean like a magazine?
Yeah.
No, digital.
Okay.
But no, comics have to be physical. I think there's differences
All right.
in medium and what it brings to you specifically. So, like comic books, to me, like if I can't smell that new comic, like I don't even want to read it at all. And that's why I have no idea what's going on in Marvel right now, and don't even try to explain it to me because fuck. Like, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn it, George, swear.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe you guys could fill me in on Marvel at some point of this, but digital for pornography 100%, but everything else I think probably paper I like.
Okay. The best movie of all time.
I mean, The Princess Bride, but
That's the right answer.
That's a fair answer, yeah.
That's a great answer.
I also like True Romance a lot.
I haven't seen that in a really long time.
Yeah.
All the actors you could possibly hope for, and a ton of violence, and a really, really good love story at the heart of it. And
What's all this love story talk?
bunch of crime. I'm fighting with my girlfriend, so I gotta talk about
Hopeless
love
romantic.
stories. Who?
I don't know. You said Princess Bride and that.
Well, Princess Bride is, yeah. But it has. Peter Falk told you in the very beginning. He was like, "Chill out, kid. There is love and fighting and revenge and sword fights and Andre the Giant.
It is the ultimate story.
Comedy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best movie."
Do you really think when they went out to make that movie, they were like, "We're making this the best movie ever"?
No, actually, I think they probably thought we're going to capitalize on the fact that in the 80s, people like Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to make a fuck ton of money because guys are fighting with swords. And it was just like, oh shit, we put together the right cast, and there was a lot of passion.
I'm afraid to read the book.
I read the book.
Yeah? Was it
Yeah, it's just,
the same?
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you haven't watched the movie. You put those people.
Yeah.
If you read the book first, I don't know what kind of imagery it would have. If it had the same effect as the delivery in the movie.
It still has this
You know
like
what I mean?
comedic value to it, though. I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Go
it.
ahead.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's all?
That's it.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, you survived. Now let's head on to the
So far.
host question this week. It's a two-parter, so get ready for this. This is one we just made up. I mean, like minutes ago. Are there certain actors who play the role so well that they cannot be replaced? And who has played a role so terribly that they need to be replaced?
Well, that's easy. Stephen Amell needs to be replaced from playing Casey Jones in anything Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle related ever again.
Okay.
That's by far just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was
That's fair.
bad.
I can't really give judgment on it because I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't seen it
So
either.
bad.
I think he's awesome as Oliver Queen.
Yeah, he could just stay being a queen.
Is it worse than Wolverine looking in the mirror with like
Yes.
computer claws and like crying?
Well, you gotta blame the special effects and shit like that. And the movie Wolverine Origins was not the greatest. I mean, obviously,
It was in fact the worst.
it was probably the worst. Although, which I just found out recently, deleted ending. The deleting.
It wasn't
deleted,
really deleted. It's at the end of the movie.
I thought they deleted
No,
it.
It's there.
Where Deadpool's mouth opens up and he has like the last, basically like the Deadpool that you see in that movie is not the finalized Deadpool. It's kind of like
It
an
wasn't
intermediate.
Deadpool at all. It was supposed to be. But
I know, but I'm saying like
I did. Since the last time I sat in a chair in this room, I wondered what you thought of that movie.
Deadpool?
Because you're like a really big Deadpool fan.
I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was terrific.
Yeah.
But I also thought it could have been a little darker even. Thought it could have been a little like edgier.
it could have been
than
almost
it
like
was.
DC Dark.
Even. No, please. Oh man, who farted? No, but you know, it's I don't know.
The problem is it was too short. Because, like,
Sure.
you know, and when I found out how long that movie was going to be running for, it was just like, okay, we're literally going to get the origin story and a little bit of action, and bam, that's going to be the end of it.
But at least
That's
you
exactly
wanted
what
more.
happened. But, I mean, like, we got some laughs along the way, and this...
The story was well written.
It was. It was
Yeah.
very well written.
And I like how they went back and forth.
Honestly,
and the timeline.
honestly, if the pacing was awesome to it, if you made that movie
Oh,
any
yeah.
longer, it would have been, you know, you might have been like, oh, it could have been a little shorter. I think, like, it's one of those things where, like, you know, you don't want to make a song too long. You know, if it's good, you get to... You
hear that, Dream Theater?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think it was perfect the way it was done. Like, I wouldn't take anything away from it.
Yeah.
I was saying, like...
All right. We're getting a little bit off
Hugh
track
Jackman
here.
as Wolverine cannot be replaced.
Okay, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. That's going to be a tough one to replace.
I honestly don't think it is, because I think maybe you could find somebody who fits the type physically at all. He was
But-
tall and thin.
He's actually only 5'3" in the comics. Or
Yeah,
5'5".
he's supposed to-
That's what I'm
Wolverine's
saying.
supposed to be
Hugh
short.
Jackman is too tall.
Right.
Yeah,
Hugh
but
Jackman's way too tall, and
But
he's like
everybody-
handsome.
If they cast somebody now that was 5'3" to be Wolverine, the general public would be like, "What the fuck is this?
Because
Is
they
that a
fucked it
midget?"
up the first
Yeah.
time.
Well, did they fuck it up, though? I mean, here's the thing. Everyone criticized Michael Keaton for being too short to be Batman, but he fucking made Batman. I mean, if it wasn't for Michael Keaton, we wouldn't be talking about this. This conversation would not be happening. I mean,
You know what
for
I saw
he-
today? Can I throw in? I saw Jerome Bettis in this, like, on NFL Network, just happened to be on TV, wherever, at your brother's house, actually. And Jerome Bettis is sitting there stretching. The first time he was with the Steelers and he was playing the St. Louis Rams, who drafted him. They might have been LA Rams at the time. He says, "Wait till they get a load of me." And I was like, wow. That's...
For the listeners, we apologize for any kind of sports talk.
Yeah. This is like a no
But that's how relevant Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson's Batman movie was that professional athletes were just throwing out quotes from the movie. Nowadays, it would be...
Tony Stark.
Oh, God, no. I cannot see anybody else playing
No.
Iron Man.
Somebody else has to, though.
I know.
Somebody else
actually.
has to,
I
but
know.
It
I'm not
has to
looking
be.
forward to
It has to be a different character altogether.
You think?
Well, Robert Downey Jr. made that movie.
Yeah.
All
He
right.
made that character different than the comic book character drastically.
I think, honestly,
He kind of defined that role.
Of course, I agree.
Yeah.
He was the only good
what
thing
they're
about
doing
the
in the
Avengers
Marvel
movies.
comics right now, though, is Tony Stark is actually retired as Iron Man, and there's a girl that took over as being Iron Man.
That's where they're going to have to go.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to do with X-23 as Wolverine now, because
Yeah.
she's Wolverine in the comics
Right.
now.
So, yeah, I mean, in order to continue that
So it's not
franchise.
docking anymore, I guess? Or... See, that's what I mean. Like, Marvel's like...
Yeah.
So who else? I mean, who else cannot be replaced?
Christopher
I got
Reeves.
two.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What? There you go.
Go ahead.
Well, Christopher Reeve's Superman cannot be replaced. No one's pulled it off since he's left. No one's done a good job. Nobody.
Honestly, I
That's
think...
arguable.
I think this table would do as good a job.
What's his name from Lois and
Superman's
Clark
so
did a better
boring.
job than anybody in any of the live action
All right.
movies.
I gotta say, the dude, what's his name? Something Hendrickson or something like that. He was just on Supergirl earlier this
He's
season.
doing such a good job, you don't even know his name.
Yeah. Well,
Say.
he was in Teen Wolf or something. I don't remember.
Whatever.
That's
No.
Oh, Michael J. Fox. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the TV
He would make
show.
a great Superman.
I don't know. I'm a little
TV
shaky
show.
on the subject.
No, he was
Oh, well played!
he was actually a very good Superman. He wasn't beefy like Superman is in the comic books, but he paid a really good homage to Christopher Reeves playing Clark Kent and everything.
But
and
even
then
you said it
Superman
yourself,
in
like
series.
he wasn't beefy like this. He wasn't like quintessential person that played the role, and he can't be replaced. Like there's nobody else that can ever replace that role.
Watch the episodes. You be the judge. Like I thought he was very good. Like he was way better than
I've seen pictures. He
Henry
doesn't look
Cavill.
like-
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Deadpool.
No.
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 Who else?
Dane Cook.
Who else could play
Hell
that?
no.
Just same as Ryan Reynolds. No, I'm
Is
kidding.
he just
Who
gonna
else?
yell through the whole movie?
Who else other than Ryan Reynolds can play Deadpool? Seriously.
I don't think anyone can.
No.
Chris
I don't think
Evans.
anyone really can.
As a matter of fact, I think Chris Evans is wasted as Captain America.
Yeah?
I always felt he was wasted as Captain America.
Why would no? I don't want to see Chris Evans play fucking Deadpool.
He's already done it in every other Marvel movie he's ever done. Usually he's always the funny guy, the irreverent person. And they gave him a job in the Avengers as Captain America, the straight-laced kind of like, once in a while he gets a shining moment.
I don't know, man. I think he's the highlight of the Marvel movies I've seen him in. Maybe I'm just a cap mark, though. I might be.
I'm a cap mark. And I like the fact that he's embraced the character, but at the same time, I feel like he's capable of a much deeper character.
The strides that he's taken since the first one, so the origin movie, and that wasn't his fault either. I heard that the director from The Rocketeer who did it, he created a really nice world and it was really cool.
He was brilliant in the movie. Not Expendables. The Losers. And he went from being that character who stole the show to being Robert Downey Jr.'s straight guy.
Well, he was also Human Torch first before he was...
And he was great in those movies, and they sucked. I mean, he was the only reason to watch those movies.
Indiana Jones.
Michael Chiklis was great as the Thing. Okay, I'm sorry.
True. I'll give him that. No, he can't be replaced, but Harrison Ford cannot be replaced.
No, he can't even be replaced as Han Solo either.
No.
I know they're have to.
That prequel movie that's coming out. The Han Solo story.
I feel weird about it.
I'm wary about it.
Yeah. It's not going to...
I hope I'm wrong about it. I hope they do a fucking great job with it.
That guy that did the impersonations of Robin Williams that was all over Facebook, and he does a lot of voice work, he actually did a Han Solo fan film, and he was spot on to Harrison Ford. It was really good. The story made no sense, but...
Well, he put all his eggs in the other basket.
Yeah.
Well, another thing too, what sucks is it's almost like the same gamble that Empire Strikes Back had with Yoda being a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
The moment when we go to see that movie, even Woody Harrelson can't save this, because the moment you see somebody else playing the role of Han Solo, we're all just gonna be like,
it's gonna take a lot of convincing.
yeah. And I'm usually pretty open-minded when it comes to stuff, but it's gonna be a tough sell.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a real tough sell.
Mm-hmm.
I have plenty of pity in that person's soul who's playing that, the guy who's playing that role. Actually, the guy that was playing Hook in the Pan movie, I thought would have been.
He was my pick.
He's still my pick.
Still my pick.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you mean. I don't know his name.
He looked like Harrison Ford. His mannerisms were Harrison Ford. He would have been perfect. But yeah, Harrison Ford is not replaceable.
In anything.
Well, anything else?
Well, here's what this whole conversation comes to me when you bring it up. It's like everyone can be replaced. I'm not saying it's going to be done well or even passably, but it's a movie and it's got to be made. It's just a business.
Yeah.
Someone's got to sing the lead vocal,
or not.
My outside the box one was Scarface. I don't think if you saw that with a different actor would it have the same effect, because he's kind of slimy in a good way.
Aren't they working on a remake of that?
Please
I
God,
hope not.
We're gonna remakes of everything.
Oh, there's actually a bit of news in here that I was actually gonna grab this week, but Cliff got it for me.
Right.
Well, there was an original Scarface.
Not Scarface related, but another reboot that's in the works.
Scarface was a remake, right?
The Matrix.
I know, but it's the only one I've seen.
Rebooting that now.
I couldn't imagine someone
like
else.
Chris Benoit. It's too soon.
Yeah,
just can't.
Wife and kid should have tapped out.
Remember when we were talking about that on the Cinecast? That's who Chris Benoit is.
You know who can be replaced? Young Anakin. In all forms.
Yeah.
Can?
No.
Yeah.
We're talking about who can be replaced?
I think Scott would play a good young.
I'm gonna play the other coin. So.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a good transition.
This is pod racing.
that kid.
That kid can be replaced.
That kid can be replaced.
No, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I kind of feel for that kid because there. Here's the thing. Jakey Lloyd's annoying as shit. I mean, he was annoying in Jingle All the Way. He was annoying in Episode 1. But at the same time, he's a 6-year-old kid getting picked to play the kid version of the biggest, most badass bad guy in history. Who the fuck would really want that role? Up front, the contract looks pretty fucking sweet. Hey, we're going to do this big blabbermouth announcement. You're going to blow up. And then you get all the negative shit that gets thrown back at you. I mean, what? The kid's not Al Pacino. Neither was Mark Hamill.
You cast a child.
Yeah, you cast a child. You're gonna.
I think maybe that was the poor choice to begin with. Starting it at that part of history.
But nobody was going to get behind anybody playing Anakin.
He wanted Recess.
And let's be honest, he wanted Recess. And when it comes to Hayden Christensen, god damn it, look at the subject matter that guy had to work with.
The thing is,
stiffest bad guy of all time.
Christensen is a decent actor. Same
Yeah.
with Natalie Portman. Did you see, what was it, Jumper?
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
No, Hayden Christensen was in it, so I didn't watch it.
He's a pretty decent actor.
He's a good actor.
And those first, I love the prequels. Disclaimer. However,
I've heard that George Lucas is to blame.
the prequels suffered from bad direction. George Lucas is not a good actor-director at all. You can tell. I mean, you had some very good actors in these movies, and they just their delivery was very wooden.
Yeah, but again,
Natalie Portman, she's a fucking fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Not in those movies.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor still kicked ass in those movies.
Yeah, I agree.
I saw an interview with him recently. It was fucking awesome. He had they were like, "Do you not grow a beard because you don't want people to recognize you as Obi-Wan Kenobi?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, Mom was like, "Look, honey, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi." And the kid's like, "That doesn't look like." And he's like, and I'm chasing him like, "No, I really am Obi-Wan Kenobi." Like, that's fucking awesome. He was brilliant in those movies.
Yeah.
Also, what's his name? Emperor Palpatine was brilliant in those movies.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there was some stuff in Episode 3 that I still look at as just brilliant acting from him.
Absolutely.
But I really think that looking at Darth Vader's source material, going into the older stages of Anakin's life, I mean, he's kind of got to be stiff. He's kind of like, I mean, he's in a robot suit, and he's talking, breathing respirators and stuff like that. But if he would be like, "Hey, everybody, I'm Anakin, how you doing?" It would be like, wow, he's overacting.
It's the deliveries and the chemistry on stage.
Nothing can stop that now.
It's just the acting's not good.
he could have been like, "Hey, Ewan, how am I doing?"
Right.
And then George would have been like, "Hey guys, this is what I think," and it's like, "Hey, fucking shut up, Mr. McGregor. What am I doing? How am I doing?" No, but in all seriousness, I saw I read an article where if you watch it, just like if you watch it as Jar Jar Binks is the Sith Lord, which is hilarious.
It's brilliant.
But if you watch it as not you,
Obi-Wan
as
and
Obi-Wan,
Padme are having sex.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw that. That was
I
funny.
heard that you can get through the movies.
I love the movies, but here's
Same
the other
here.
thing. Talking about people that I mean, when it comes to people that play Batman, I like every single person that's played a live action Batman for different reasons.
Even Val Kilmer?
Yes, I
Even
think
Widow Wisp?
his Batman was great. His Bruce is a little melodramatic.
Yeah.
I look at George Clooney, and I'll be honest with you, George Clooney's Bruce Wayne was fucking amazing.
It's because he's playing himself.
But yeah, but he did. But he's a great actor. He's a great actor, and with a bad script and a bad movie, there are scenes that George Clooney had in Batman and Robin that I was actually pretty moved by his performance. The scenes when he's watching Alfred die, and I'm like, this is really tough to watch. But he delivered in a really crummy movie. He did a pretty damn good job, and I really still think he's probably the best Bruce Wayne out of all the movies. Christian Bale did really good as he did. I liked him as Bruce Wayne. His Batman, Ben Affleck. Yeah, I like everything. But well, that was the thing. He was basing it off of a Jeff Loeb story where he talked about how Batman talks like Clint Eastwood. It was actually described in one of the comic books. Robin describes his voice. He's like he's roughing up his voice to sound like Clint Eastwood, and that's where he based it off of. So he actually did base it off because he didn't want to touch Batman. He was actually he's like, "I'm not doing Batman. That George Clooney shit that just came out. I'm done." And they were like, he handed him Jeff Loeb books, and he read it, and he said, Jeff Loeb said it. He was like, one part of one of his stories. He's like, he disguises his voice, and he almost sounds like Clint Eastwood. So they're basing stuff off source material. I mean, Ben Affleck, I think, was great as Batman and Bruce Wayne. But every single character that played Bruce Wayne, to me, was almost unreplaceable. The movie might have sucked, but the actors always did the role pretty well.
I like Christian Bale's because you could tell that he was still in the back of his head kind of obsessed with doing what Batman does, but he had to play the facade. So he was playing the facade. I just think he was the most balanced between Bruce and Batman.
Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton's Batman. I didn't really like his Bruce Wayne that much. Michael Keaton.
It was weird because he's not a billionaire playboy at all. You know,
Oh, you're nuts! Come on, let's get nuts.
he can't convince anyone that he is.
But his Batman was brilliant because he said he goes to, like, I had to play it. He studied a lot of like silent movies because his eyes and his like facial expressions had to carry the whole character without being able to move his head. And I thought watching him from that perspective is pretty amazing. So I would say, like, as much as a Batman fan as I am, every single person that played that role brought something different to it, and I appreciated it. I felt Christian Bale was not replaceable.
All Val Kilmer brought is his hair, though.
Huh?
All Val Kilmer brought was his hair.
Oh, he had beautiful hair.
That was it.
And
Tell me, Doctor, do you like the circus?
I don't know if you guys compile sound bites, but keep that one.
that was great.
Tell me, Doctor.
Another like I was
Further evidence of Batman's sexuality.
I was devastated when Christian Bale did not sign on for Batman vs Superman, and I was like, no, he's got to do it. Please do it. Follow through. Whatever. And he said he didn't want it to turn to shit what he did. You know, and I respect that. I made a movie that had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I was done. And he backed out. And then when they announced Ben Affleck, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be good. You know?
Did you hear the interview with Ben Affleck when he ran into Christian Bale at the costume department at like Target or something when he was buying a costume for his kid or something? He ran into Christian Bale. Bale's like, hey! Like in his accent or whatever. He's like, make sure they put a zipper on your suit so you can piss in, like, or whatever, piss on it or whatever.
That's awesome.
That's funny. All right. Any last thoughts on this subject?
Oh, God. I don't think I've really said anything about how I feel about some of these guys. I don't know.
For the record, I only brought up Anakin because I knew it would be a conversation.
Yeah.
You know who's irreplaceable is Agrippa in
Absolutely.
Agrippa.
That's true. You take that one element out of that band, and
But you know what though? If somebody portrayed him in like a video or like the life of, you know, you could always get me.
absolutely, you could play a younger me.
Start right here.
Yeah.
Start right
Could I,
here.
if they were to do a movie about the story of Agrippa, can I be Tim?
You're not quiet enough.
I could work it. I'm an actor.
All right.
You gotta get some one-liners
let's
too. Like,
take a quick turn here. Quick turn here. In the movie about Agrippa 93, who would play the people in the movie?
I would be Agrippa. Obviously.
You would be Agrippa, absolutely.
I would have to be the guy that plays Thor would have to play me.
Okay. Jeannie, who would play you?
Jesse May.
Jesse May would play you. Good
Yes.
call.
Jesse May!
Yeah.
Yeah! What's up, Jess?
Who would play John?
oh God.
Who is John?
Drummer.
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean plays John. Okay. And Tim, we need someone who's...
Actually, no. Oh, wait.
It would have to be somebody really well hung.
I'm just waiting for somebody to say Bair.
Tripod.
Actually, you could probably play.
No, it's fine. I'll play.
For your character, we got to get the guy from Game of Thrones, the midget,
Nice.
and just put him on stilts.
All right, so for those of you listening,
You gotta think though, that movie's gotta have a huge cast because how many people I've had in my band over the
Yeah,
years?
so that's true.
when I had hair,
Maggie Gyllenhaal will play Brenda.
All right, that's cool. Right.
no, now I'm in my head. I'm casting Continuum, so that's because obviously Grumpy Cat is Brian Riley. And,
All right.
Grumpy cat.
Continue with this theme. He's actually played with me before, so that works.
Yeah.
Would be Doug from Fear of the Masses.
Oh shit.
Or Greg from Enemy of Reason.
Josh
Greg,
Brolin,
who would be
Jackson.
Greg? Brian Lee, primetime Brian Lee, wrestler for ECW, and he portrayed the fake Undertaker in like SummerSlam '93. Would definitely play a really good Greg St. Amant.
That's impressive.
And again, he's been on stage with me before. So we need these castings.
Yes.
I
I mean,
think,
Brian Lee might be dead. He's a wrestler, but
I think we'll conclude this conversation and we'll come back with.
There it is.
Even the
come back
voice.
with some
sadly,
news.
Vince D'Onofrio would probably play me.
Even the voice.
No, okay. So my I was standing there. I had a goatee. I had hair. and my stepbrothers were watching Elf, and
If I find this fucker with no hair, we're
what's
golden.
his name?
Will Ferrell?
No, Tyrion.
Oh, I don't know.
The I see you don't want to say midget. Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones.
Can you
What's his name?
describe him,
Yes.
please?
Not very
That
tall.
guy. That guy.
What do you mean
He's-
by
he's-
not really tall?
he's
What's
vertic-
his freaking
He's
name?
vertically
Five?
challenged.
I'm asking you what his name is.
Tyrion
Who's
Lannister.
No, the actor. What's his name?
Hemsworth.
If you're describing in detail, I mean,
He's vertically challenged.
Anyway, so he's also an elf. He plays like the manager of the shopping center or whatever. And I had a goatee and I had hair, and my stepbrother's like looking at me and looking at him, look at me and looking at him, and he's like, he looks exactly like you. I'm like, no.
so there.
And I started paying attention.
He will play you in your biopic.
He will, I guess.
Yeah.
This is gonna have to
It's
like
sold.
CGI.
But he's gonna have to
him
shave
like,
his head.
Make the phone call.
Yeah.
All right.
Scott
CGI
will
him
be
like
played
7
by
feet tall.
Can I just get his name? I'll get it right now, but like I'm upset because you're on your
I can't
phone.
even say it.
Who is this?
Here's AJ with the news.
Oh, he's so adorable.
All right, we're coming back with the news. What you got, AJ?
Well, thanks to Kevin. The Matrix reboot in the works at Warner Brothers. Who the fuck wants to see that? Because
Me.
I can't imagine.
How would they do that?
No thanks, I'm good.
A reboot? I mean, do they really need a reboot of that movie?
Can you imagine that? Based on our previous conversation, The Matrix, if it didn't have Keanu Reeves in, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was right the first time.
Yeah, you were.
What those movies would be like. I don't know. I feel like Neo is a little kind of
I felt like the first one was the best one out of the entire series. And, then it
Most
got,
people will agree with you.
and I think it got a little too biblical for me towards the end.
Yeah.
So, but
First one was the only one I saw part of.
If it wasn't like a reboot, if it was a situation where kind of like Evil Dead, where this exists and they're kind of growing off of it,
yeah,
would make it different than an actual like
Yeah, like in the Matrix world,
yeah.
and like
Say it's
not
not
necessarily
Neo,
the same
but it's
characters,
yeah.
but like a different. Because
Within the
there's like a
same
whole.
realm.
There's a lot of room there to make different stories. I mean, you have the
Yeah.
whole Zion thing, and you can, there's a whole bunch of those little ships. Or not
There's that
little
room
ships.
with keys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with that without rebooting.
Well, it also says here at this point the Wachowski siblings. I had no idea that they had sex changes.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Did one or the other?
Both of them did.
No.
That's what Kevin told me.
What?
The
Yeah, they both
Wachowski
did.
brothers. They're
Goddamn millennials.
yeah.
They're now hot chicks.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was being
Doesn't always
funny.
work
I was
that
being
way.
funny. Radio Land. I know
The
we're all
translation
liberal.
doesn't
It
always
was a
work.
joke.
Anyway,
I have a friend
Sorry,
that's
I
have a
thought
friend
about like,
that's
dude,
done
where's
it.
my car? And like, we are hot chicks.
well, the Wachowski
Yeah.
siblings who wrote and directed the original and its sequels are not involved, and the nature of their potential engagement with a new version has not been determined. So, apparently, sources say that there is a potential interest in Michael B. Jordan to star. I have no idea who that is, other than Michael Jordan, the basketball player.
Well, that's probably why the B.
Yeah.
But
I mean-
much.
It's not a Hanes commercial.
No.
Why, if you're widely recognized as the best of all time, you should probably do a movie once in a while, right?
Space Jam
Probably.
ruled.
Yes, it did.
Ruled what?
That was the only thing. What? That movie was awesome. Bill Murray?
All right.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
Matrix reboot. I mean, I don't think it's necessary.
I don't think so either.
I was tired of the Matrix and the Matrixes were being made.
Matrix spin-off, I'm all for.
Yeah, I mean, if it was
Even
a
a
continued
series would be
story,
fucking great.
if it was a continuation of
Yeah.
like what was already done, like Neo's still gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't even need Neo.
Yeah, he's dead. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I want to believe the Alien movie's going to be. It's like a spin-off. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we found this ship 100 years later, but there's still cocoons on
You
it.
kind of hope for more. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like the idea. Like the cool thing is with the
Yeah.
spin-off,
yeah,
you have like all right. The problem is, and we look at it in Hollywood, in music, in every form of art, the mentality is everything's been done before.
Yeah.
You're not. You only have. There's only 8 notes to play from. So many
There's only
storylines.
so many ways to count to 4.
And
music.
people's attention spans are really short, so they keep trying to go to.
Don't forget the notes you don't play.
Yes.
Phantom notes.
Well, none of us here are guitar players, so we can appreciate that. So it's called the whole note, you ass. So.
Oh God, I love my friends.
Hold on this note longer than you want it to be.
So true. So
Just ride the E. What?
So like, the idea like hasn't been like it's all been done before, but like in comic books, like once in a while they reboot, like they'll do like a year 0, or they'll do a start all over again because they gotta give an enema to the universe and kind of start over, I guess, or whatever. But like you kind of want to see like they wish they did that in movies more. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know why, like James Bond did a complete. They did finally reboot. But they made like 27 movies before they rebooted that fucker.
See, I would be in favor of a prequel. Like, say maybe a prequel trilogy of Matrix.
Like how the Matrix started.
Yeah,
That'd
be fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I think they when they made that they called it Terminator.
It was called the Bill Gates story.
This is why you're always invited on this show.
Oh man, I like shit, and I did make that up, but I wish I could capture that all the time because I'm not clever.
That was clever.
That was good.
I've read a lot of your reviews.
That was your one.
No, so like, but like, you know,
Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in somewhere and the spin off like.
Right.
Thanks, Spider-Man. You only get one.
so
Comes in and saves Neo's ass like right at the end, like.
Like not to shit on like the Man of Steel movie. Like, did we really need another origin Superman story?
No.
Because Richard Donner did such a great job in the first one. Like, okay, if something blue raspberry scented chunks and needed to be rebooted, Batman needed to be rebooted. Christopher Nolan did a great job doing that because, let's be honest, there was a lot of shit with the Tim Burton universe that was a little...
Burton.
A little too...
But we don't need origin stories anymore for superhero movies.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
But they need them for the millennials, and they're trying to
some of them you can.
Maybe the ones that aren't so well known.
Stories.
We never need to see another Batman origin story. We never have to have to see another Superman.
We don't need to see one not now because it's.
You can do it in a half hour to start the
Everybody
movie
fucking
if you really have to. It doesn't have to be like a 2-hour thing.
I wasn't
like the beginning of Watchmen. It's like, here's everything to now. Okay.
Yeah.
All like in a montage.
Really?
But you don't even have to do that with like Batman anymore.
No.
But I mean, like even
fucking
in
knows.
Batman v Superman, it was like very brief though.
Yeah.
It was set up
It was
almost
still
like
it was
Watchmen.
too much for me.
Okay, all right.
Can
It's
I?
still
We just
Can
need
I
a
say that I
pregame
think-
montage.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I think Iron Man 1 is still the best superhero movie ever, and their intro was literally perfect.
You're wrong. I was kidding.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. I'm trying to
It's
remember.
just, it's like, here's a billionaire playboy, da-da-da-da-da, during the opening credits, and then all of a sudden, and he's captured by somebody.
Okay, yeah.
And it's
no,
like,
no.
oh, shit, I'm captured and my lung's going to explode or whatever. You know, and you just get into the... And then you get into what makes him Iron Man. Cool. And I realize that that's only the first telling of Iron Man in a movie, so maybe it's not the same kind of, like... boredom that we have with the Spider-Man retelling or a Batman retelling, but it's
Well,
still...
we've already been through 3 of those.
It was done so well.
Yeah.
Batman and Spider-Man.
The new kid that's playing Spider-Man is fantastic.
Exactly, but
And
they're
even
not going to
Superman.
do it.
But we don't.
They're not going
There's
to do
so
an
many.
origin
No,
story.
they aren't.
We don't need an
They
origin
aren't.
story for Spider-Man. Everybody fucking knows how he started.
Well, it's not the new movie's not going to be an origin.
Good.
It's going to take
Yeah.
Who's
place
playing
with
the
him
Vulture?
in high school. He's only been Spider-Man for 6 months.
Perfect.
So that's where
Perfect.
the story's
Oh, it
starting
couldn't
off
be
from,
better.
So,
Yeah.
Who's playing the Vulture?
Michael Keaton.
Ha! Yes, I remember. Yeah, that's going to be good.
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
All right, so that was the first story.
Yes. So, not really sure how I feel about a Matrix reboot, but okay. Moving on. Rest in peace, Bernie Wrightson, horror illustrator and co-creator of Swamp Thing. Oh, I was just watching this dude the other day. I was watching, oh God, what the hell was it? Justice League Dark, and I was watching the thing about Swamp Thing. I didn't know he passed away.
Did anybody see? I think it might have been the early 80s, the Swamp Thing movies.
Yes.
Those are fucking great.
Born on a Bayou by Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah.
I need
It was
to
actually
revisit
pretty
that
good.
one.
Yeah, it was done pretty well.
In
The
80s.
first one
Of course, I
was
haven't seen it
good.
since
And then the
The
USA
first one-
had a series.
Because then they came out with like Miss Swamp Thing, and it just went.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. It wasn't a great movie. it was an '80s movie, but
I loved it as a child.
actually, I thought that
Same
was
here,
actually.
but I haven't seen it since I was a
I
child.
actually
And
thought
the
it was
TV
trauma.
series too.
Yeah.
There was a USA series,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I wonder if I would feel differently about it. if
Did
I saw
Alan
it.
Moore not have a hand in that? I thought Alan Moore wrote Swamp Thing.
No, yes. No. Alan Moore wrote the 1984 kind of like reboot of Swamp Thing after Infinite Crisis. And his Swamp Thing writing was what made Swamp Thing cool.
Yeah. And now
This-
there's another Swamp Thing by Brian K. Vaughan, who does Saga and
Well, there's lots of
Why
Swamp
the
Things.
Last Man, and yeah.
There was lots of, like, after Alan Moore gave Swamp Thing balls.
Yeah.
Like, before Alan Moore, Swamp Thing was kind of, it's this, it was
So
like this,
shouldn't he be called Swamp Man?
yeah, right?
Well,
Give his
hey,
balls.
gender is a social construct.
what Alan-
he might not
He can
even
use any
know.
bathroom he
Maybe he
wants.
doesn't
He was-
know.
he was Swamp
And maybe
Thing.
that's why it's Swamp
Alan
Thing.
Moore,
He gets balls, now he's Swamp
Alan
Man.
Moore made Swamp Thing like,
That's where I'm going with this joke.
like
It's a far walk, but I'm there.
where you come back to the
I got
Your
nothing.
testicles descended, you murky, muddy thing.
It was
Are
a
you not a
long-
man?
It was a long way to go for a joke, but
Just because I
you were
got
with
balls
me.
doesn't mean I'm a man.
And we made
I'm
it
from
to
the
its
swamp.
Swamp
take
Thing
it.
Swamp Thing was more of
just
a
shitting all over this character, and this guy just passed away from.
I'm not. No,
cancer.
it's,
No, I know you're not. I know you're
no,
not.
Swamp
I'm
Thing
sorry.
was like more like this autonomous, like godlike
Poking
character,
fun.
and Alan Moore saw the character and was like, he wanted in. It was his first comic book writing that he did, and he changed the character to be this character who didn't really have an origin, and his quest was to long to be more human, which is something that nowadays we kind of take for granted because it seems like everything from Johnny Five in the Short Circuit movies on whatever always wanted to be more human. And he always had that thing where like Swamp Thing had all these powers and stuff like that, but he would give it all up just to be able to be a human being.
Yeah.
And it was like you read it and it was touching, it was moving. And then he did a Superman and Swamp Thing crossover thing where Superman's like kind of gets possessed by red kryptonite, and Swamp Thing has to kind of like dude, like you know, like everything you are, you're this great human being. Why are you such a dick? Like it was like he made Swamp Thing kind of like the more of like an empathetical character that you can get behind, and that was kind of what put Alan Moore on the map.
all right.
But we're not talking about Alan Moore right now.
I know.
Yes.
Oh,
We're talking about Bernie Wrightson.
That was definitely my fault.
He passed
No, just a
away.
little backstory,
That's
that's good.
okay. He passed away at the age of 68 with a long battle from brain cancer. So he also did some work for Heavy Metal magazine, and
Does that still exist?
I don't know.
I've seen it in the stores.
That was a dirty magazine when I was a kid.
It still
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
How dirty though? It's just boobs.
Well, when you're like 9.
Yeah.
You know?
Those
Boobs is a
movies
big
are
deal.
great, man. Those soundtracks.
Yeah.
Bitchin'.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember watching that movie for the first time. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and it was mainly
I was
like,
I
wow,
watched it
boobs.
like
Yeah.
this.
Exactly. They're doing it.
What is that?
Then
Moving on,
Barbarella.
Moving on.
Marvel's Defenders wraps filming. Even as Marvel's Iron Fist arrives on Netflix, production is wrapped for the Defenders, the upcoming miniseries that brings together Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Danny Rand. The news arrives in an Instagram post by makeup artist, I'm not going to pronounce her name right, celebrating at the show's wrap party. So, alright.
So what? We'll see this in 2020. The way the fucking Netflix does their series is?
Through. It doesn't give a release date here. Hopefully by the end of the year. That would be great. All right.
So is Iron Fist good?
I've only seen the first couple episodes. I'm getting into it, but I've heard of a lot of mixed reviews. So
I haven't seen it
she
yet.
even said,
I don't know. My coworker thought it was a waste of time.
Wow.
that was one review that I heard too. But I mean, it's kind of slow to start, but it's getting good. So yeah.
I think my biggest problem with all TV shows is they're always so slow to start. Like you like.
Well, they got to stretch the story out.
Yeah, but like I felt that way. Like I try, because like I'm a DC comic guy. I like the movies because I can be in and out in 2 hours. And you try to watch some of these series, and it's like, oh, it's so great. But you get to like you're on season 1, episode 4, and you're like, my God, like move on with it. And they're like, dude, you should see what they're doing now in season 7. It's amazing. And you're like, I couldn't get past season 1.
Well, I'm sorry they're not all in spandex all the time, Scott.
It's character development.
I know. It's so frustrating when you don't want to spend like 40 hours of your life watching a TV series that
What you're trying to say is way too much foreplay, not enough.
You don't want to watch 40 hours of like punching in the face. Well, okay, never mind. Yeah, you do.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil was the one show that I like really like. Oh, this is really good.
Yeah, and then they stopped making it forever.
So they could make other things.
Well, they have to. They had to film the Defenders first. So
I didn't follow about Young Justice.
Season 3 is going to be coming.
I hope so, because season 2
I haven't
was
heard anything
fucking
about
great.
Young Justice lately either. But as far as I know,
Young Justice was the best animated superhero TV show ever.
It's in the works.
Whoa!
It's in the works right now. It's being produced and animated and everything like that. But I haven't heard any other news since.
You're talking to the guy that like grew up obsessed with Kevin Conroy's Batman.
Okay, all right.
And I will tell you this.
Take your word for it.
All right, maybe Young Justice is like second to that, but Young Justice, original Justice League animated series, especially the Justice League Internet. What was it? Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yeah,
I really like that series.
that series was amazing.
So fun.
But Young Justice, I still think it's written better. It's like because you watch season 1, and you're like everything catchy and it's cool, and then you watch season 2. And the whole thing is like, oh shit! There was like a whole master plan that you didn't realize, like that was part of season 1 that they threw hints at, and you get to season 2 and you're just like, holy fuck! Every episode was like this big, mind fuck, and it was amazing.
Oh, sounds great.
It takes
I
place
just
like-
know the Batman the animated series was like.
Oh, it's
literature.
amazing! It was. It's the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
Let's be
Batmobile right
honest.
there. You see the Batmobile on the shelf right next to you?
Yeah,
And a bat signal. Working bat signal.
Working bad
Check
signal.
out my stuff. Look at that.
animated series was like amazing.
Look at my
The
clutter.
artwork, the style of it was amazing.
That's all going in the storage when I move.
The
No.
voice actors are not
Yeah.
ever going to be touched as far as what they did.
I'm sorry.
You can
But
store it at our house.
Young Justice was written
The AJ
like they had a
section,
plan.
the museum.
No,
went
I'm
into it.
going to have
The
some
idea to be
space for
the
stuff.
Kevin
but
Conroy and Mark Hamill are not going to voice those
I have
characters
to.
anymore. It's like,
No,
This is
I
the
don't
AJ
bother.
exhibit.
yeah.
The people they still do it once in a while. They just did it. They just did a Killing Joke that was.
Here are my
that came out-
balls.
I heard. Oh, hey, did everybody see the Killing Joke? Then?
Yeah.
I own it, yes. That was.
I own it.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I thought it was
I heard
fantastic.
the animation was like
If you
really distractingly bad.
It
Oh,
was
good.
it was very
Like the
very
comic.
close to the comic. If you
Oh,
can get
okay.
past the first 30 minutes, which had nothing to do with the
Yeah.
Killing Joke comic book,
Uh,
it's basically just a story wrapped around Batgirl before
DC
Killing
Animation
Joke
has
started.
DC Animation does a really good job of when they base it off of a certain book, they actually get the animation to kind of follow that artwork, and they do it in an animated version of that artwork, which is actually kind of cool.
That's very
Like
cool.
especially watching like the Doug Mazzucchelli stuff that they did for year 1, and
Yeah,
for
that was
and
a great one.
the stuff that they did for Batman Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I think is probably still the
That was
best.
a two-parter, wasn't it?
It was 2-parter.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
You can get it on iTunes.
Actually, who is it? What's his name? Brian. Big comic book geek friend of ours. Brian
Snappy.
From what?
W. Mendes Perkins.
Oh, Horn.
Brian Horn. Him and I were talking. We were watching a football game. And we were like, "Yeah, they're making a Dark Knight Returns," and he was so anti DC animated, and I was like the biggest fan of it. And I'm like, "Dude,
He sucks.
Let's be
I
honest.
hope he hears this. You suck, Brian Horn.
I was like, let's be honest with you. Like, if this movie sucks, this will kill DC animated." And he's like, "Yeah, this is make or break. I mean, they're doing the most important comic book story ever in animated form." And I bought it. It came out on my birthday of the first part. And I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my god. As I'm watching it, I literally I was at the store when they opened, bought it on Blu-ray, went home, put it on, and as I was watching it, I get a text message from Brian. He must have got it the same time I did, because he's like, this is fucking amazing. I'm like, yep.
Alright, moving on.
Moving on.
The Flash nixes Speedster villain in season 4. Good, because I'm getting sick and tired of watching speedsters be the villain every season. The Flash is going to be shaking things up in Season 4, though the CW Super Series has featured a speedster villain each season, from Reverse Flash to Zoom to now Savitar. That won't be the case moving forward. Next season, we're not going to have a speedster as the villain. Blah, 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 or the cast, okay, whatever. So, I guess that's, okay.
So it's Captain Cold.
No, he actually, well, spoiler alert, he got killed off. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he got killed off in Legends of Tomorrow, but in the future. So technically, he's still alive in the timeline.
Oh, that sucks. I really liked him in Legends of Tomorrow.
What about Captain Boomerang?
They have not brought Captain Oh, wait, no, they did, on Arrow. They did bring him on, on an episode of Arrow.
I'm just trying to think of my Flash villains.
But
Trickster! Which, I like the fact that Mark
I
like the fact that Mark Hamill was the Trickster.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Okay.
Mark Hamill got his start in the DC Universe playing the Trickster in the Flash TV series in 1991. Like, that was the first time Mark Hamill played a DC comic character, and it was fucking
before
brilliant.
Before the Joker?
Yeah, before the Joker.
Okay.
And then he became the Joker after that. So they brought him back, along with John Wesley Shipp, which, when they announced John Wesley Shipp on that show, I was like, okay, fine. If he can't be Barry Allen, please make him Jay Garrick.
He was Jay Garrick from Earth 3.
Yeah.
And the end of season 2 into season 3, and he's actually off the show now.
It's a lot of
Earths. For now. So he's stuck in the Speed Force right now.
Okay.
So
I could live with that.
They did kind of a thing with Wally too that I almost texted you about. Wally got thrown into the Speed Force, like, you know, kind of like in the.
I watched a little
series.
of the season 3 stuff just because that stuff really intrigues me.
But anyway, moving on. Last bit of news here. I believe this is the last bit of news I got. It is. Okay, Marvel's Rocket and Groot web series has some outstanding stylish animation. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy already have their own animated series on Disney XD, but last summer at Comic-Con, we learned that the dynamic duo known as Rocket Raccoon and Groot would be getting their own web series, and it finally started unfolding this past weekend. The first episode of Rocket and Groot debuted on the official Disney XD YouTube channel this past weekend, and it's just the first of 12 episodes that will be released in the coming weeks. Their adventure begins when their ship starts having some mechanical trouble, leaving them to look for spare parts on the junkyard. Instead, they discover a new ship that's a little outside their price range. And yeah.
Sounds like every day at the dealership.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have to send that to Lady J. She's a huge Rocket and Groot fan.
So...
Sounds fun.
So basically, when you're asking me who the better captain is, obviously Rocket Raccoon.
So no, I was like, I just love how the article was titled like exceptional artwork. It was like, well, this is coming from a press release that's being paid for by Marvel Comics, telling everybody how exceptional the artwork of this new animated series is.
Plus, it's also coming from the art guy from our podcast because he did the news for me this week because I didn't have time. So
no,
that was a really good.
But that's what the article said, though, right? No, because I was like, next press release from Cross the Rubicon.
Cross the Rubicon approved.
Yeah, Cross the Rubicon is releasing a new album with some great music from Crossing Rubicon. Listen how great this song is.
Top 10 comics of the week for March 15th that came out this past week. All-Star Batman number 8, Amazing Spider-Man number 25, Batman number 19, Green Lanterns number 19, Guardians of the Galaxy number 18, Justice League number 17, Mighty Thor number 17, Spider-Man number 14, Superman number 18, and Uncanny X-Men number 19. Alright, we get all our comic book info from Legends of Superheroes located at 1655 Straits Turnpike Suite number 4 in Middlebury, Connecticut. Open 6 days a week, closed on Tuesdays.
Ask for Craig and tell him I sent you. Sorry, I just love Legends. Love those guys. And Bob, I love both. I just...
Bob.
Just like your local music scene, support your local businesses. So go buy some comic books today and tell Bob or Craig that the League of Extraordinary Frontmen sent you.
Hooray, beer!
Okay, well, how about some new toys? What do we got?
Okay, lots. Mostly stuff that we can't afford this week. Always. I'm going to start off first, ladies first. Tweeterhead is pleased to present The Wonder Woman maquette, inspired by her appearance in the New Adventures of Woman television series. This statue is featuring the stunning likeness of Linda Carter, known for her iconic portrayal of Wonder Woman, hand-painted and created in cold cast porcelain. The Wonder Woman maquette includes her costume, star, decals, bracelets, wire, lasso.
Iconic or ironic?
Toy Fair this
really do
year
think-
was inundated with Wonder Woman stuff, from new statues, new action figures from the new TV series, and I thought that it was kind of cool that they're still kind of
Badass one.
still portraying Linda Carter, because
Let me see.
Dude, you didn't send me the pictures, did you?
I did. I texted.
Oh, did you? Oh, you Facebook Messenger?
No, I texted him.
I like she's
I
kind
get
of
'em.
almost got like
Kevin got him.
a riveter, you know.
I got last week's.
Yeah, they did the Rosie the Riveter stuff with her before too. Also, yeah, Agrippa and Big Kev. Did you change your phone number?
I did not get it.
Because Kevin and I have been talking on that thread already. All right, I'll resend them. We are experiencing technical difficulties. We'll be back.
Is
with
this
you.
it? That's not it?
No.
No.
I was actually like all excited.
My eyes!
Is that a pug? You're just happy to see us. A Sharpay, sorry.
That's why I love her.
I did not get those pictures.
I just resent them.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Well, speaking of pictures, because you got the wrestling guy on the podcast for a second, there was like a bunch of pictures and videos of Paige, unfortunately, and Alexa Bliss that were revealed to humanity. It was a big bummer for them because it's all personal, it's all private.
Diamond Dallas Page?
No, Paige, like the girl Paige. Although it I've heard it said that it might be a ploy to get her out of her contract, but it wasn't that long ago that they were all posing in Playboy. So
I'm gonna say it's probably a Playboy somewhere.
All right.
I was just killing time.
Right,
just you're looking on your
China
phone.
did
Gotcha.
Playboy,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh God, yeah. Ugh.
All right.
Page and Playboy?
No, but personal, private videos. Like a day or two ago, we were talking about on our podcast earlier today. It's a fucking disgusting, gross invasion of privacy that anybody would ever
Hey, what
do.
podcast is this?
That's fucking terrible that would happen.
Exactly.
Send me a link.
That's the thing. Is like
God,
it's
that's
like
awful. Where did you find that?
I can't believe I have
I want
I
to
have
break
to
down
see
those
those
letters.
Oh, the Inhumanities.
I'll pass my own judgment.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is though, like it's not
those
sexy.
safely.
It's not sexy stuff, man. It's private stuff. It's
Yeah.
like kind of gross. I felt dirty. I watched it because I think Paige is super hot, and I was like, "Ooh, this isn't
somebody hacking my cloud.
fun at all." I feel
Status
bad,
that's iCloud.
but these things happen, and if we're talking to a bunch of geeks, so is Emma Watson. Go on Google, I guess. But
Well,
are you done with what you're doing?
Yeah, I've been done. But on to more titillating stuff.
Titillating.
Titillating.
Thanks, right?
Yes, we have the Dream X Michelangelo 1/6 scale, highly detailed figure with excellent articulation, realistic accessories, and clothing. Pre-order for this sucker just came out this week, and he is starting at $189.99.
Is that the giant one we saw at FYE?
No, this is another giant one.
Now, can that action figure
No, the
fight
same
other
line.
action figures, or is it just a statue?
It's like, yeah, it's got
Oh.
articulation.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's different.
even the toes.
Yeah, this is like really superposable. It's like the fuck you 1/6 scale. It's about 2 foot tall Michelangelo.
This looks great.
Oh,
Yeah.
so like as big as your kid.
Hmm.
So not your kid. Your kid's a cat.
All right.
I don't know if
On to
everyone
the next
knows this
one.
at home, but
Yeah, he's
Scott's
lanky.
kid is a cat,
He's lanky, but
He's hairy.
yeah.
but he's not 2 feet tall.
He's got bug eyes sometimes.
Or is he now?
He
Prime
likes to stare
One.
at you for like 20 minutes and just like in the
Yeah,
dark.
he's a stare. Prime One Studios is proud to present Serpentor from G.I. Joe. It is made here antagonistic statue. This is 31 inches in height.
31 inches?
31 inches.
That's impressive.
Fuck.
It's usually what I say. All right.
Very
31
well,
inches.
Very well hung.
The pre-order for this requires a $300 down payment.
That's just a down payment.
It's a $1,200 statue, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy
I was gonna
fuck.
say.
You have to really like Serpentor. This is a
They're
character.
gonna sell like 2 of these.
This is a character that everybody, like a lot of people, not myself, I was a fan, but a lot of people consider was G.I. Joe jumping the shark.
That was the beginning of the shark jumping.
That was the beginning.
Oddly enough, I'm currently working on my custom version of Super.
I saw, as a matter of fact, I was going to comment on your post on your Instagram page, but I saw somebody else already did.
Is it a
So I
normal
chose
G.I.
not
Joe
to.
size, or is it like a...
Yeah, it's normal 4-inch size.
When Serpentor came out, it was like a big deal in comic book, cartoon series,
4
and
inches is
toy across the
normal.
board.
It's, it's not really the
It's your wife,
size.
so.
I wouldn't
Zing!
say. I wouldn't say it's the
Fully
norm.
articulated.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, Agrippa,
Yeah.
what is your take on something like this?
I would love to have the statue. I will not pay $1,200 for this.
Yeah.
This, first of all, they're not going to sell a lot of these because the G.I. Joe market is going way down, and who's going to be able to afford this?
Yeah, everyone's just been waiting for the 50th anniversary to just go on clearance.
Yeah,
Like, why do they
they're
keep...
gone from the stores.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they do like they did last time, and like put them all out for clearance for like $9 or whatever, because I'm going to scoop up all that shit and customize the fuck out of them. Have you seen the Destro that's this size?
Yes.
That looks amazing.
Is that also $1,200?
Probably. Well, this one's probably, because of the cherry and everything, it's probably more expensive.
And then finally,
Ridiculous.
on the Star Wars camp, 3 3/4 scale figures, we are now finally getting...
Oh, nice.
Of course, we're now getting a Saw Gerrera, Imperial hover tank pilot, Irido 2 tubes, and a Jyn Erso. The thing that sucks about this is, number one, where Rogue One toys did so many things right and so many things wrong. The movie was exceptionally awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
The
I
hover
don't know
tank,
any of them. I still haven't seen it yet.
the hover tank pilot.
It's pretty great.
They never came out with a fucking hover tank.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, all the vehicles in that movie that mattered, they didn't come out with. They came out with the goddamn U-Wing and that stupid TIE bomber thing that are way
the
too big
U-Wing
for your shelves.
was a prominent vehicle in the movie.
It's not really. Mostly X-Wings. You see the U-Wing like once or twice, and it's like, oh, there's that
But
thing.
that's like the ship that they used as a transport
yeah,
to get from place to place.
but it was no Millennium Falcon.
I'm glad that they have this Jyn Erso, because the first Jyn Erso that they released was absolute garbage.
It was
Yeah.
absolute garbage.
Is that the one with the cadet hat?
Yeah, and you couldn't
Yeah.
put her arm down because she had some
Yeah. Well, this,
Ugh.
I already own this Jyn
Saw
Erso.
Rail fucking kicks ass though.
And the
Yeah.
problem is with this Jyn Erso is the jacket underneath the vest is the jacket that you only see in the scene that never made it to the actual movie.
Oh yeah, you're
It
right.
was from the trailer that it was not actually in the movie.
I rebel.
Yeah, I was almost gonna get that tattooed on me. Thank God I didn't. But yeah,
I just love it's a room full of metal guys and Gene. I mean, you got your own metal cred. You got a lot of metal. You got more metal cred than everybody. But
that
you know, we're
means.
just sitting around talking about toys.
Yeah.
that's what the show's all about.
Absolutely.
So
That's great.
I'm
Yeah,
just
like-
wondering where you were gonna get that tattoo done.
How many letters
Right on
is
his-
it? Wait,
right on his
wait. How
head,
many
it's just like,
letters
I
is it?
rebel.
I was gonna get, no, I was gonna get
How
this
many
in.
letters and how
My-
big are the letters?
That
Well,
was his
originally,
stamp.
originally I wanted
I
to
just
get
heard 4 inches. So.
originally I wanted to get a nativity tramp stamp.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
That's cute.
This one's for you, and this is for Jesus. Anyway,
Can you imagine if you did in like a nativity scene,
There-
but it's all Star Wars?
With baby Anakin.
No, it's Yoda.
Right on his
baby.
stomach.
Yoda.
Right on his stomach. That would be hilarious.
Yoda has one of the 3 wise men.
no, when it comes to Rogue One
Yeah,
toys,
you're
they
right.
did certain things good.
I
They
just
should.
think he was that
This is the
size.
line that they should have re-released some of the first generation Star Wars vehicles again.
Mhm.
We should have gotten an updated version of an X-wing, updated version of TIE, ties. There should have been a fucking hover tank. Like, this is the stuff they should have made. The U-wing, the toy was okay. I had no interest in buying it. I'm like, well, this is their transport vehicle
Yeah, but it was kind of like the Millennium Falcon of Rogue
without
One.
being the Millennium Falcon.
We're really
Yeah,
just
but-
waiting for a ghost.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Hasbro, we want a ghost. Well, Hasbro said that they put out the Millennium Falcon that they came out with for Force Awakens as a test to see if they could make vehicles that size again. Then they come out with the ATA-CT, and the ATA-CT, it's cool, but it's not as detailed as the last AT-AT that they did.
Way more expensive.
And it's like 3 times the price.
Yeah.
The AT-AT that they came out with...
Granted, it's motorized.
It is, but
still.
It doesn't have the detail. Like the AT-AT they came out with back in 2012.
That was a fucking mean piece of machinery. It
had like a back hatch that released a speeder bike, and you could fit like 27 figures inside the thing.
Yeah,
it was huge.
That was mammoth, yeah.
And it was detailed. It looked awesome. And then they come out with this one, which is like half the size, twice the price. Yes, it's got the iPhone app feature to it that makes it walk and it's a remote control or whatever, but not enough to spend $250 on the thing. You know? So they could have come out with and done like a modern day version of the X-Wing fighter, TIE fighter. Because you know what? There are people that get into Star Wars now or that have gotten into it recently because the reboot, that are like, oh shit, I would really like to get my hands on a real X-Wing.
Yeah.
You know, like that, like if, you know... And then what they said was, Hasbro said, was like with the test of how they're doing with the Millennium Falcon they came out with, the last one, and other things, if there's enough interest, maybe we'll see a Ghost. But they said that they're also, the problem is now that they're coming out with a movie every year, they got to pick out like one movie fuck you vehicle to come out with. Yeah. And I just think a $250 AT-ACT is just not the way they should have gone.
Choice, yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I was there Force Friday. The hottest toys on the shelves were all the Rebel stuff.
Yeah.
It was the Rebel stuff. I went in there primarily for Rebel stuff.
Well, no, everyone around us went for the giant Black Series
Those
stuff.
people don't count.
Unfortunately, that's like a big thing now. The 6-inch series of figures.
Hashtag
we're like third in line.
Wars.
We're like, what are you guys going for? And they're all like Black Series. And they all like fought each other over that. And we're like, oh, Rebels.
I'm sorry, but you know what? I want to take my 1983 Luke Skywalker figure and put it next to a Jyn Erso figure and have them be the same scale.
I like the smaller Black Series ones,
like
the 3.75-inch Black Series ones. I do like those. Yeah. They're way overpriced, though.
I don't like those.
They're way overpriced.
The articulation on them is horrible.
I like the more articulation on them.
It's not good articulation. It's not G.I. Joe articulation.
True.
G.I. Joe articulation is like the little rubber band in the middle breaks, and they can't kick anybody.
The newer stuff is the new G.I. Joe stuff is awesome.
Okay.
No, but the problem is like the Black Series figures, the articulation is very wonky. You can't even put them in a seating pose without pushing their legs out. Their arms are like toothpick thin, and they got joints in them. And you're like, if I move this too many times, it's gonna break.
They do look fragile.
So much so that I actually am perfectly happy with the 5-point articulated figures. And another thing about the 5-point articulated figures, if
women still have small feet in a.
Yeah, that's the women's small feet thing that pisses me off. I'm okay with the 5-point articulated figures.
I mean, I have tiny feet. I can't talk.
Yeah, you can't make the women stand no matter what. Cause
package them with stands.
Princess. Well, here's another thing.
They used to do.
That's what I actually like the G.I. Joes.
Yeah. I will say this when it comes to the modern day 5-point articulated figures from Star Wars. I like the fact the 5-point articulated figures are still under $10. Kids can go out and buy those toys for $8. My thing is they come out with those stupid add-on cannon toys, which probably are jumping the price up another $2. Let's get rid of the stupid add-on things that are supposedly giving it more play value and drop it down to a $5.99 price point. Then the whole you could buy the entire toy line for $60. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. If Hasbro would do that, I am perfectly cool with 5-inch articulated figures because you want kids to want a troop build. This is trying to take the 1980s mentality of we want to see something, go home and play with the figures and use our imaginations, and that's what they're trying to do. Let's make it affordable, you know? And you're coming out with those stupid cannon things that hook up to these figures that make them you can't even stand them because they're so heavy. Get rid of that shit, you know? Give them an extra gun, put them in a box, and give them a stand, you know? And charge $5.99. Those figures are $5.99 figures all day long, and I like that about that.
Toys.
All right, let's wrap this up.
It's show and tell time! Yay!
Yay! Your brother was like,
welcome to live show and tell.
Stuff so we can make lasagna.
A little short staff tonight, but we can get through this.
Hey!
Who wants to go first?
Let's wave hi to Kevin and Michelle. Hi, Kevin and Michelle.
Hey!
We know you're watching. We're up to 4 watchers this week.
Nice.
You have 1 viewer.
Cool. I can go.
Okay.
I'll jump ahead. I got a new graphic novel called Monstrous, and it's put out by Image, and this one is called Volume 1 Awakening. And what first drew me to it, of course, There's this imagery, you know, just a lot of patterns. I like sacred geometry. I also into steampunk and stuff like that. So there's a lot of, it just looks really cool. I like a lot of the imagery. I mean, definitely a lot of visual is key for comics. This is pretty much, as far as I know, I'm about halfway through, is where she is coming out of a race war between humans and Arcanics, and she's kind of like in between. Like, she resembles a human, but she's an Arcanic, and they've been at war, and this is post-war, and she doesn't know where she came from, so now she's trying to figure out, like, her past. She has powers that, you know, can't really explain just yet, and she has a hunger, and she also eats people. So, and she kind of blacks out when she does it, so it's really interesting.
It's like Thanksgiving when your uncle goes to take a nap after he's done eating.
I might have dated her.
Yeah. Yeah. This
she
lady who's on fire look familiar to you? He's dated her.
Oh my god, no, I can't talk right now.
This is part of a scene where, out of nowhere, she found her way to go into slavery because the humans enslave these people and pretty much mutilate them and eat them and stuff like that. But she kind of goes through and she uses her powers to get out, and she slaughters the entire compound just to get this one lady to find out about her mother. So it's fucking pretty brutal.
She's determined.
Yeah. And much like Saga, which is my other kind of comic, there's a cat that talks, and he calls her a liar also, and it kind of cracks me up. But it's really good. Like I said, I'm only halfway through, and there's only one volume currently, but I'll definitely pick up the second whenever that comes out.
Cool.
In probably a year. But also, of course, there's Neil Gaiman, my favorite.
He wrote it?
No, he has his quote. Anything.
His name is on it.
Yeah.
On the cover.
But yeah,
shit, though.
trying
Where'd you
to
get this?
find new stuff to read. Actually, Barnes & Noble had a buy two get one free for Image Comics, so I got two others that once I get into, I'll bring.
Nice.
But I've seen it on bestsellers lists and not only online but also at comic book stores.
Cool.
Worth checking out.
Thank you.
So which way are we going? Are we going left or are we going right?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I made you go first last time.
Yeah, I don't have anything too spectacular tonight.
He says that, but you know it's going to be spectacular.
No, it's really not. Oh, nice.
I was at Walmart, and I had no idea that this came out. It's a Walmart exclusive. It's an ATST from Star Wars, Black Series. And the gun came out again. It always does that.
Well, at least it just doesn't snap off. It just pops through.
Yeah. This is
He's got a one winking eye.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it looks like
His
he's
eyes are
winking at
winking.
me.
Hi.
I had no idea that
Angry pirate.
I had no idea that this was coming out, and I never owned an AT-AT or an ATSD, so and I can't spend $250 on the new one. It's got shooting missiles. Thank God Kevin's not here today. Hi, Kevin.
I like that it's got like sand damage.
Yeah,
that's pretty
this
cool.
is Return of the Jedi model. It also comes with a pilot, and it's got 2 seats inside. But
He can bring a friend.
yeah, you can bring
You're
it.
gonna stick Chewie in there?
Yeah, it barely fits in there. Pilot with gun and removable helmet. Yeah.
Did the pilot come with it?
Yeah.
That actor made some money.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But like seriously, like I was pretty blown away when I'm like walking the stores and I'm
Jesus.
I just shot
Hope
that.
you had your-
I thought you liked her.
That was an accidental shooting. Premature shootulation.
Thanks.
Yeah. You got 2 of them?
Oh, they both.
They both came out.
I only saw one come
No,
flying at my
dude,
head.
I saw both of them in the corner of my eye. One almost took you
It's
out.
got-
The other
Did you
one
get-
flew straight over the pillow.
Did you
Speaking
get
of
the
the
money shot?
Matrix.
I don't know.
You got the money shot?
Probably.
It's got it comes with
That's
2
awesome.
different it comes with 2 different cannons that you can mount. One of them is more screen accurate and one of them shoots. Of course I went with the one that shoots. The only complaint I have about this is it doesn't stand right. It does, like, the legs are really articulated, but the articulation hurts the standing. It does not stand very well. Like you can,
like the original.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not supposed to stand well.
It does not look. Yeah, he looks like a heavy head.
I bet you a log will knock that thing
With
over.
ostrich
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah.
You might trip over.
I remember the
Ewok
Power of the
with
Force one.
microphones on.
Dude, the original one, the Power of the Force one had a button in the
Yeah.
back that made the legs
The
move.
original one had the button in the back. I have that.
Yeah. So
Wood.
this is my first.
It's not in good shape though.
Yeah, this is my first walker, so I was excited to get it. So, and yeah, I had no idea this was coming out. We walked into it's a Walmart exclusive. Walked into a Walmart, next thing you know, holy shit, there's a walker.
He came running down the aisle with that above his head. Usually it's me that finds things. And,
Hey, buddy.
Actually, the story is I found it, but he was in the bathroom, and so rather than send him a picture of it, I let him find it himself.
Nice.
Yeah, she's like, I knew you were gonna find this.
Yeah.
This
well,
This is way better than the original.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of missed the walking legs though.
If I was a kid, who could, admit to playing with action figures, I would very much enjoy playing with that action figure. Yeah.
Well, you're like all into like that Star Wars game now.
Oh man,
are you playing?
it's shameful. It's awful. The same one that you played. I'm calling you out.
Oh, I haven't
in front
been
of
on it for a
everybody.
while.
Yeah, I know, because like I used to borrow your characters, and like now, like you're not even on it.
No.
But yeah, well, I just now I just do the daily activities just to keep getting stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't really play anymore.
I have a lot of ships, like Star Wars ships, like spaceships. I don't have a lot of ground vehicles, so I was actually pretty excited to get this one. I
Dude,
have
that's
like
awesome.
Millennium Falcon. I have 3 different X-wing fighters, 3 different TIE fighters, Y-wing, A-wing. But this is my first. Like, I have like a couple of speeder bikes, but this is my first like ground vehicle.
I play with that toy. That's a good toy. Action figure. What do you? Is it inappropriate to call it a toy?
No.
No.
See, this is what I need you guys to help me right now, because like there was a time when I was keeping up with all the action figures and all the comics and stuff, and it's not that I think it's not a worthwhile pursuit. It's just that I lived in New York City and I was traveling, and it's just not functional, because where do you keep all this stuff?
Right.
If see,
Oh,
this is beautiful. This is amazing.
I have plans for that someday.
Sure, but I'm saying if I haven't had a set place to live for any real amount of time, it's tough to keep stuff like this. So I haven't piled up a bunch of stuff, but it's great stuff. I just I'm saying, like, if I had more 4-inch Star Wars guys, they'd be fighting that guy. And
my toy collection is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
actually, I'm trying to think. I think Lando would have been like, "Yo, man, I got this," and like, just, but yeah. No, it's great. It's phenomenal. You pulled the leg out. Do both the legs like go way out?
Yeah, they like.
Now do the walkers do that in Star Wars ever?
No. I think it's like they were supposed to. They just never had to.
Yeah, they might have had that feature.
That would have
but
been
never-
scarier if they
If you
started
remember-
scaling hills and stuff.
If you
just
remember,
like
there
a
was a scene
spider.
in like Jedi where when they
Reminds me of
roll
Pink
the
Floyd, The
things,
Wall.
and his legs started like tripping, and it started doing this shit.
It's winking at me. It's so nice. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, so that's my ATSD.
What do you got, Ryan?
So I was a very, very last minute. We're doing. Is this Facebook Live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. So this was a last minute edition. I have this Hippie Dicky Moon T-shirt that I wore today because I was doing my wrestling podcast earlier, and PWA in Cheshire, Connecticut. It's like 11 minutes down the road on 84. Does Friday night fights twice a month. If your kids like wrestling or if you like wrestling, it's $5 for 5 matches every time. I mean, no, Kurt Angle's not going to be there, but it's a really good time. There's snacks. There's no alcohol. Sometimes, if it's a Friday and you've been enjoying your Friday, that can be tough. But they used to have pizza at their events. They don't have pizza anymore. It's like more like chips. But outside of concessions, everything else about it is phenomenal. The performers are all on point. Dickie Moon is their current international champion, which is their top champion of the company. It's outstanding. It really is. I couldn't suggest more strongly that you go. This is Dickie Moon's shirt, which is what I wear when I don't have to impress anybody because it's purple. And I don't wear a lot of purple. I feel like I look kind of funny, but I kind of don't give a shit either.
I think it looks
It's a
good.
great shirt. You know, and they all have shirts. They all have merch. It's all super cool. They also do kids programs. Stacy at the job, her son loves wrestling. I keep telling her to send him in for a youth program. They have the youth program. They have, Monday through Thursday, 7 o'clock. I'm just hyping stuff on your show that, I'm sorry. I don't know if you want to hype or not.
It's great entertainment.
It's Connecticut, man. It's Connecticut. It's great entertainment. And, you might enjoy it if you're a geek who likes wrestling as well as comic books and everything.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Logan yet. I'm the worst geek ever. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's like we've gone to a couple. We just started going to NEW shows recently, and coming from somebody that kind of works in the business for a brief period of time, to somebody who loved wrestling growing up, and kind of got turned off about what's going on TV nowadays, and kind of fed up with it. I go to see an NEW show, or and watching some of those guys who work in NEW as well. Shout out to Ron Solentano and shout out to Sexy Beast. Some of the wrestling there is better than anything I've seen in WWE for a long time.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to put myself over, but I train at the school.
Yeah,
and it's like Bull Dread, who's been in Waterbury for fucking ever. He teaches there. And he was there when Scott was studying wrestling in 2000. No, not even 98.
No,
99?
2001.
2001, and
2000. Sorry.
So there's a lot going on that's really good, and they're these people have spent some real time in the business, and they have things to share.
It's great entertainment.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. Nice. Well, okay. As you know, I do customizations, and I also like to go to Savers a lot and dig for treasures. So, what I did do was find this little gem here that, don't take it at face value. Just think of the potential of what it could be. I have no idea what this is from. It's got, obviously, some crazy colors on it. The doors do work.
I think I knocked on that door when I was selling alarms.
Doors do work. It's got some trap door with a skeleton underneath. All that shit's gonna go.
This Scooby-Doo or something.
It might be. Yeah. I have no idea.
I could probably tell you in 30 seconds.
Barred windows. This is going to be completely redone. This flooring is going to be gone and replaced with new flooring. It's going to be sculpted. It's going to get a complete repaint job. I might even get rid of the bars.
So you genuinely don't know what it's from at all?
I don't know.
Where'd you find it?
Didn't even Savers. It was $3.
Wow.
And
you're just going to doctor it up?
It's got to be Scooby-Doo.
Do you like Preacher?
I think I watched
the comic, not the
comic.
show.
I used to read that comic book a long time ago, but not recently. But you can pass this around. I mean, it's got lots of potential. I'll bring it back when I'm completely done with it.
It'll definitely look good with a lot of the figures that you're using.
Yeah, you won't even recognize it when I'm done painting it.
Very cool.
I should start a new podcast or video podcast of Pimp My Toys.
There you go. Get exhibit on your show.
Oh. How much custom? I don't know about everybody back home. Probably already knows because they listen to the podcast every single time, and I apologize that I don't like stuff. I know. But how much of the customization do you do?
A lot. I don't even buy new G.I. Joe figures anymore. I make complete customs of my own.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I take pieces from here and there and create my own.
And they're actually really good. They are even better than some of the stuff that you see on the shelves.
We also don't buy new G.I. Joe stuff anywhere because there is no new G.I. Joe
Well,
stuff.
yeah, that too.
It's all Channing Tatum's fault.
And I'll take things like this and do a complete.
He made Magic Mike, and now children can't invest themselves in him because he's naughty.
Let me just show you.
It's supposed to be Duke. Sorry.
I like him as Duke.
You would like him as Duke.
I found your.
What is? Oh, that's what it's supposed to be. Scooby-Doo Pirate Fort playset. Nice.
Damn, Judy was all over that shit.
Nice. Good find. This is an example I found on the right hand side. I found that at Savers,
That's
and then the
great.
left hand side is a complete repaint of.
Ruh-roh.
That's fucking badass.
So try to imagine that treatment done to something like this.
Yeah. That's very impressive.
Very cool. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Alright, so a couple weeks ago, Bob had a sale on selected merchandise at Legends of Superheroes. It was 50% off, so I didn't even know this one came out. But I got my Harley Quinn from the New Adventure series with a different head. So I gotta find a place eventually for her to go. Pass that
I know where to put her.
So, what's the other head?
It's just a different expression on her face. So, and then I had to pick this up because it's been sitting there for so long, and I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'm
nice.
just gonna get it. It's the Joker from the game series, Arkham Knight series. It was the version of the Killing Joke. It doesn't have the right hat on or the right shorts. I don't know, but I saw it there for a while, and I was like, you know what, I have to get it. It's been sitting there for
It's
way
a
too
creepy
long.
part of the game.
Yeah, but it was still really good. But I got both of these half off. So
Nice. Is that still going on?
No, this was a couple weeks ago.
No idea.
Yeah. So.
Are video games part of the geekdom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is anybody playing Zelda?
Oh, the new one that came out for Switch. I heard really good things about it.
I'm playing the original because I have a mini.
I haven't touched that one yet.
See, my roommate's playing Breath of the Wild.
That's the new one. Yeah.
And she doesn't have a Switch. She has Wii U. But I watch.
Oh, it's on the Wii U. I didn't know that.
Just like Twilight Princess was when it was switching over from GameCube to the Wii.
Okay.
It looks phenomenal. But at first, all I kept hearing was, "Oh, this is just like Skyrim, just like Skyrim."
Jeremy Osborne says, "I've been playing Breath of the Wild. It's amazing."
Yeah, right, bro.
Hi, Jeremy.
What's up, bro?
And he says, "I'm playing on the Wii U."
Yeah,
because you can't get a Nintendo Switch anywhere right now. They're
Sure.
sold out
hip.
That's like
everywhere.
It's only because of Zelda.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That
unlike
and
the mini,
Bomberman.
they actually had a pre-order for that at least. You had a chance.
Yeah.
But what they're
Hi,
saying,
Jeremy.
what I'm hearing though is that it's like Skyrim, and I'm watching her, and man, it is way more like Arkham Asylum.
Is it Skyrim or Scrim?
It's Skyrim.
Okay, swear.
Play the game and listen to them talk about Skyrim. Scott, you see, Scott likes lasers, and I'm just thinking like Star Wars. You're more like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then capes.
I'm like everything.
Lasers and capes is Scott. I like swords and dragons and wizards.
Oh yeah.
Swords,
Yeah,
dragons, wizards, and boobs.
Oh my!
And boobs.
Speaking in old,
So,
speaking in old
Very
English
nice.
and going to Renaissance
Very nice.
fairs.
so watching, because I've watched a lot of people play a lot of video games, because I don't really play much. You know, I work a lot, man, and
I
come
do
home.
the same thing.
Yeah.
You go on the YouTube and you watch like other people. Like it sounds stupid, but like
Oh, it's fun.
I watched some content from like Vanoss Gaming and like Wildcat. There were a bunch of YouTubers that actually play like random games and stuff, but they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They play like all these big games like Grand Theft Auto and like all these other big things, and they just fuck with each other like all the time. Like they'll just blow each other up or like do like the gayest shit to each other and like. Just, I need something like that at the end of the day if I've had a really bad day. You know what I mean? I need something
When
to
you
laugh
say
at.
gay as shit to each other, what do you mean exactly?
I don't, you'd have to watch. I'll watch
Martin.
some. I'll send you some videos.
But yeah, like watching it, it's like it's way more Arkham Asylum
Yeah.
than it is fucking Skyrim, than it is anything else. He has a fucking iPad. Link has an iPad.
And the game?
Yes.
What?
He has an iPad. He's like,
you
oh,
know-
this is the, the Gorons.
You know that Link had a sort of cameo in the very first only Japanese release of Final Fantasy?
I believe you.
There was actually a gravesite that you walked by and it was Link's gravesite. In the only Japanese version, they changed his name to the American
It's just like the
release.
horror movie where they put the posters up.
Yes.
Yeah. That's solid. Yeah, I thought if we're talking about broad geekdom and we had a Arkham Asylum thing, I just wanted to throw out there that I think Breath of the Wild is way more Arkham Asylum than it is Skyrim or people are saying it's like Dark Souls. I haven't played a lot of Dark Souls because it's really hard and not fun, but
Well, right now we're playing Super Mario Brothers, the original.
yes.
And
Yeah.
Nice.
I got to the warp zone where I had Fireball, and then I
Does it
lost it.
save for you guys?
It does.
That's
You
awesome.
can
I'll
save
help.
and go back. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, and you just go back.
Because here's
to
the
where
thing.
you were.
Want to hear something crazy? The original Super Mario Brothers didn't save.
Yeah.
So, at
You have
one
to
point
leave
in
it on.
time, I got to the last world. Like, I was the first one in my family to beat the very first level. Which, when you first get the game, is hard as shit, right? And
You're like
nowadays,
all
you're
of Mike.
Yeah, so like everybody, I beat the first world, and my family all thought I was like a legend. And then through the next couple months, we all would play it, whatever. And I got to the last world, and I died, and it was over. And I was so pissed off.
All you had to do was hold down A and B and
Shut
then
up.
restart it.
I was so pissed off, and I
Forgot about all those.
I like completely,
I didn't
I
know
never
that. You can do
finished
that.
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, you can continue from like 8-1 or 7-1. Yeah. Something like that.
I never finished it, so now I'm like, I got to the last part of it, and I died. I'm like, fuck this game.
I did the exact same
I think
thing
that's the
a
coolest
couple
feature
years ago
about the
with Mike
mini, though.
Palmer.
Like, you can save at any point.
You can
That's
do
the
it.
game.
You can. But when you
No.
get to Bowser, when you get to 8-8 or 8-4 Bowser, when you get to the last Bowser, right?
Fuck that
Doesn't
guy.
matter if you're big or small. Sit there for a fucking second in the little dip, right before you go to challenge him, and watch him, and just see the fireballs, see the hammers, and see him jumping, because there is a pattern. Very seriously, and even if you don't get it if you don't see it like actively,
Oh, because I'm going after that fucker.
if you don't see it actively, you'll get it. We're all adults now.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, okay.
This game was so
And
much
then-
easier when I was a kid.
Dude,
we
you can
suck
do
at
it.
We
You
suck
can
at it.
do it. I
Jeremy
believe in
says
you.
my brother beat Contra without the Konami code. He's a boss.
Impossible.
All right, we're gonna wrap up this segment. Thanks for joining us.
Sorry, Martin.
It's all right. I had to get up in the morning.
I keep talking.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
God is trying to defeat Super Mario Brothers.
Try now.
Try it again.
That was good.
Who's
Come
got
on.
what going on? When and where?
Cross the Rubicon is trying to defeat Super Mario Brothers right now.
Yo, Dr. Z could totally rock that shit. Just give him Luigi, though.
Oh, yeah, he's
Like, I don't want to run around in red. I want to run around in green.
Well, we're going to play on Long Island this weekend
On Friday.
with our buddies in Logan's Room, who are going to be recording at Dexter's Lab in April. And then we are going to be headed out to
Plainfield at the Music Lady Cafe.
on Saturday,
Kill the Straggler.
This Saturday.
Yep.
and that will
What
be
town? Or what city?
Plainfield,
Plans that night.
like Eastern Connecticut.
Norwich.
And we are going to not be playing Connecticut again until June 23rd, which is going to be our fundraising show to help us raise money to get our bus fixed. So that's
Who's on that show?
right now. We're just talking. We haven't
Still
committed anybody.
putting it
Like,
together.
we got the date booked. Glad we got the date. We're gonna start talking to bands. I've asked a couple people. I want to play with some friends, and I also want to throw some surprises on the bill. So we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Some shockers, like bands that we've never played like a show before, except for festivals.
Like bands you might have seen on Friday?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And we're currently writing songs for our next record. We have 3 songs that are pretty much
There's
ready
nothing
to go.
going on politically. Like, what are you writing songs about?
Oh yeah,
We have a lot of topics.
a lot of topics.
Even no topic is a topic because you're like, why do I have no topic?
We're literally writing a song about. We're writing a song about being like melancholy during tough times and how like songwriters should do more.
Being in a rut
Being in a rut.
Oh, cool.
and all this shit's going on and
She's happy because
You're not doing shit.
This is her song.
yeah. Well, you see all this shit
She's
on the
pushing
news, but if you just sit there, what really are you accomplishing?
Yeah. So
True.
I was saying we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they did a video, and Bono said something that really hit me really heavily. He said, "Where would the civil rights movement in the '60s be if it wasn't for rock and roll?" And it just hit me then, like that it was such a big, powerful statement being made that it was like, wow, yeah, it's true. You know, like watching.
Speaking of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird because I just watched a Rolling Stones documentary. It just said like, wow, it's amazing. Chuck Berry's outliving all these people. Sorry.
And he did.
April 1st at Cherry Street, Agrippa 93 will be having the Agrippa's Annual Bash. That's party that I celebrate my birthday every year.
An anal bash.
It's not an anal bash, although we'll see how the night goes.
That's why he's our leader.
That's why there's multiple musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't keep any of them.
April 2nd, Agrippa's going to be walking funny.
Happy birthday
don't
to
judge.
you.
April Fools!
No rules. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of bands on the bill, starting off with Jessie May playing cello. She'll be opening up the show.
There's always room for cello.
I'm excited.
Really?
Everything's better at cello.
Black Market Uterus is on the bill. Within the Abyss.
Are they playing their new song?
They're playing all their new songs.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait to hear it.
Also, Sever the Drama will be premiering their video that night.
I was a much younger man when that video was.
Yes.
I was too.
Remember long ago when we were at that video shoot?
I
think
love
I was
you guys
skinny
for
then.
Sever the Drama, but I have to bust your balls for this.
And then capping off the night will be a star-filled night with Agrippa 93.
It's the Chinese democracy of videos.
It really is.
Ryan, what do you have?
You can listen to the Rope Break on Spreaker.net. I don't even...
Okay.
It's sad. Spreaker. Joey Etch. If you're looking for Spreaker, we talk about wrestling, which is pretty fucking geeky. If you guys are geeky, if you want to fly your geek flag.
I listened to a couple of shows.
You should get Alan on your show.
Yeah,
Alan Sloth
from
on your
Metal
show.
Cinecast.
Oh,
He loves
Alan and I
wrestling.
rapped about wrestling for an hour on Friday.
I can't get him to
Yeah.
shut up on the Cinecast.
You really?
On and on and on. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about something else.
Yeah. Wrestling, yeah.
Didn't help.
Tights.
Didn't help that I was helping him
But
out.
this was last week, too.
Girl's like,
I got May 3rd. May 3rd, I definitely have a Metallica set. I mean, you know, it's funny. It's like, oh, you're a singer. Yeah, Metallica. It's like, your rhythm guitarist should be singing. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really, really
Who's in
excited
this
for
with
it.
you?
I don't know if I'm. Oh shit! I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it. But
We didn't really
We won't tell.
talk about what.
Jeff Miles. Jeff and I always talking about shit, trying to fucking make things work, you know, because
he needs to hit me up because I still need his footage for this goddamn documentary.
there you go. And I'll be like AJ said, and then you know, there's always things that people say they want to do and don't fucking do. So we'll see what happens, but there might be some more stuff. I'm also training at PWA, so one of these days, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know me. There's going to be a Facebook barrage. Like, if you think I have been shameless about plugging myself in the past, I assure you that when I have a wrestling match, you will have no precedent for the amount of promotion.
There's gonna be lots
It's gonna
of
be
plugs.
awful, and you're gonna be mad at me, and that's fine. But you better fucking be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be absurd. Like, they're gonna be like, wow, because they always sell out. It's always standing room only already right now. I'm gonna make all you motherfuckers go. It's gonna be good, but that's probably a couple months away. But thanks for asking. You know, we talk about you guys on our podcast pretty much weekly. If we don't, it's only because something huge happened in wrestling and time gets away. But same with you guys. I always shout out Alternative Control.
Good.
You know, not only me, but like a lot of people write articles, and it's always about Connecticut stuff. So check it out, AlternativeControlCT.com. Jessie May is the esteemed editor.
And the girl bringing the Jello to Agrippa's birthday bash.
Well, and like Scott said, NEW is a wrestling company that does operate primarily out of Connecticut, and you're seeing like guys in Ring of Honor, which is the number 2 wrestling company in the fucking country. You know, you can see these guys all the time. Again, if your geekdom stretches into wrestling, just go to an NEW show.
Even if you're not into wrestling, it's just a good time.
We literally we bought tickets to go to this one show 2 weeks ago, and Kurt Angle was on the bill with Cody Rhodes, and a week after we got the tickets, Kurt Angle got picked to go in the Hall of Fame. So everyone
he got picked way before.
It was way before?
Yeah.
Well, after they booked the show, because they booked the show.
After they booked the show, became his last indie appearance.
It became his last indie appearance. So
they were turning people away at the door who'd already bought tickets because they brought in people, and you know.
It was ridiculous.
How are you going to pay those people back?
AJ, what do you have up?
Well, Amplified Video Productions just recorded last night for Vision Within at Cherry Street Station. I am going to be spending my entire week this week editing all that down.
Vision Within was at Cherry Street yesterday?
Yeah, last night. They were playing with Fear the Masses.
I like them a lot.
Yeah, they're great. They were also playing with She Walks Without Legs, Within the Abyss, and I think there was one other band on the show, I forget. I don't remember. But yeah, that was the show last night at Cherry Street. I was there to record Vision Within. And I was also a part of the Fear of the Masses music video yesterday for Make Me Your Leader. I was the main bad guy, and I didn't see you there at all. You were supposed to be there.
I got called into work. I called Josh today. I texted Josh the day before.
I'm sick. I'm just kidding. Yeah. It's okay.
He did that for the video. Sad.
No, I didn't do that. I was already scheduled to be there. Yeah. So. But I can't wait.
If you guys don't know Tula the Greek, like, that's terrifying. You don't want to tell her you're sick.
But I guess according to Edwin Escobar, the video should be done by Wednesday, so it all depends on when Fear of the Masses is going to release it. I'm really excited because I've already seen some stills. And I love working with Edwin because he's such a great dude to work with. And he even told me, he was like, this guy, he knows what he's doing. I don't even have to. I tell him one thing to do, he gets it every single time. And I was like, damn, this is awesome. Like, I should have been an actor.
Escobar's sick, man. Like, those videos are always good.
So, but we've got more clientele coming soon. After last night with working with Vision Within, I've got a lot of other people hitting me up. Oh, Falling Further was the other band. I apologize. They might be a potential one. I might be working with Shallow Ground too down the road. So,
both great bands.
Yeah, and I have to do more work with you guys.
So what is it that you do?
I record live sets now for bands.
Okay.
All GoPro from different angles.
So then, if that was something I wanted to do as somebody who only plays once in a while anyway,
Amplified Video Productions.
You'd be the guy to reach out to.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Phenomenal.
So when are you guys releasing that lyric video?
Because
we sent you the finished product.
Yeah, I had to make the one change in the lyric, and I haven't seen it since then.
It's in the message. It's been sitting there for days.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay. Well,
that was the situation.
We'll watch it after we're done here.
Because I never saw a
Friday was Friday. And then yesterday was recovering from Friday.
It's been a long weekend, too.
Visit the Metal Syndicate website at metalsyndicate-cd.com for all their podcasts in the Metal Syndicate podcast, including Metal Syndicast, Thought Minicast, CT Metal Gear, the Paul It All podcast, and Alternative Control Audio. You can check us out on OFNR every Friday at 7 p.m. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The League of Extraordinary Frontmen. Also on Twitter at official LXF. Thanks for listening to the League of Extraordinary Frontmen. Please email all your questions, comments, arguments, corrections to leagueofextraordinaryfrontmen@gmail.com. We'll read them right on the show. That wraps up episode 68. Ryan, thanks for being on the show.
Can I be on 69? No.
Always a blast.
That's next week.
Everybody wants to 69 us. What the fuck?